There's no combat spell.
Oh, he got him. Just he tried to E out. Crowny's in so much trouble. He'll have the flash, but he burns it eventually while matching from Legolas. The Q reaches tether. First blood over to Barca.
That's exactly what I meant by the early aggression. You pull him, you burn the ignite, you take his cookies and his pot here and back with a little bit more in her pocket.
Yep.
We talked about this trouble in our Barca series versus KC Blue, where the roams to mid were endless. Maybe a roam to top's going to be next. Vega's at least here. White Knight low on mana, but all it takes is a quick gank, and Balsa's in trouble. The wave was cleared before, one crashing in, one minion denied for that. Meanwhile, Crowny steps up. Auto from Legos almost gets a second kill, but Reckless saves the day, and Lost Ratones are bleeding right now through multiple points of the map.
Yeah, lane swap. Zeri's running up topside, and it's quite early on, so it's not going to be quite a grub swap.
He's running at them. Remember, he's got Halo Blades as well. He flashes in front, and he gets it! Reckless gets the kill in the end. White is set skyward. All it takes to Glitterlands and slow, and at least one comes through. Baus finally looking for the kill that he was denied, and he gets one too. That TP turns
this Galio, one of his TP available, does have his ult.
3 Talon Strike connects, and Whiting gets charmed out. Easy kill. Even though he gets a charm in, it's another one down. Lost Ratones is starting to pick up gold value in this game, and trouble, you just talked about that dragon. Now they're just going to move to the objective easy.
Yeah, so what happened was Lost Ratones opted to match lanes again rather than maintaining the mismatched lanes, but now Baus is going to get ganked.
What else can you do?
JCC?
I mean, Baus is profiting when they're getting a dragon down bot. Meanwhile, we've got a picture-in-picture because 80 carries are fighting it out. Baus going to get a knock-up. If he gets away from this, it is going to be a disaster.
He's just
for Barca. They're going to use Checkerlad's ulti, so now this walk will turn into a mild run, shoved away, and White Knight will pick him up for fun.
Do they want to contest this still? They still have ulti on Crowny.
Velja got one. I think that's a big win.
Do you play for 2? The majority is important for the feats.
You don't have the smite for Velja right there.
Oh, charm, no, Checkerlad. It's a big fight, and Velja's going to open it up. Checkerlad fails a flash into the wall, but they turn for the fight. Legolas, meanwhile, sends the feathers out while he gets bopped up against, and Nemesis is riding a wave too, but this one is hard to control. Onto Thega. He's isolated, dead too, and Lost Ratones have just blasted Barca into the ground.
This can't be happening. Whoever plays versus Lost Ratones gets mind control.
He's just going to go, you know what, throw everything out the window. There he goes, he dies. So I assumed he was going to wait to see Vi on the map. But little did I know.
Chase goes, you know. Checkerlad's going to come up regardless. And I mean, Thega has to be careful because
Please don't Galio
he doesn't have his ult, rather, so he doesn't have to be careful. He's going to play around a little bit. He's going to die. But again, this time around, it's not like there's a massive...
This is on Barca right here. They have the Vi ultimate into the Galio combo. Hook lands, and it's a kill as well. But they're going to move in. It's gone.
It's just gone. It's feasted. Baus got his fifth stack, and now they're looking for the fight. The charm again forces out the feathers to fly over the wall. Nemesis runs in, but with a wild growth, it's a bait. It's a ruse. He will die eventually. But the defensive play from White Knight keeps Lost Ratones there. Crowny in full ulti. It's one. Checkerlad wants a kill, and he should be able to find it. Seismic shove, bit of poke damage. He does have a proto belt, but the rocket grab in makes it a little bit easy, and Baus is just going to try and kite it out. Maybe get a kill on the way, but unfortunately, the Feast won't finish the job.
Not quite going to lose his Dark Seal stacks there as well. Proxying on the weak side of the map, 1 versus 3 potential is...
I'll give you an update after that. Remember, Lost Ratones are in a lead as we start off a fight. Checkerlad has just flashed away. Nemesis is going to ulti away, and there's going to be follow-up with the Hero's Entrance. They're all in this Ari, but they can't kill him yet. Nemesis does good damage on the way, and they've dove deep for this as Thega takes a double turret shot, and the convergence from Lost Ratones now becomes dangerous with a feast from Baus, and Barca are just cornered and left isolated now. They've sent everything for Nemesis. They gave him the Baus treatment, and it bites right back. For LR, they've just picked up not 4, but all 5 of the Spanish squad. It's a full-blown ace and a massive lead for game 1.
That's exactly what he does.
I'm just left wanting more, man. Like, Checkerlad has not had one good position in a single neutral objective to set up Barca for success. And we were casting his Talia the other day, Hysterics. Like, his Talia is really good at setting up his team at objectives, pinching people, forcing flashes. They haven't really used any of the strategies we talked about in the early game. There's no mid-support synergy. They don't set up for these objectives very well. 3 first dragons already gone.
They're not playing off of the hooks, where I still feel like 1 hook equals 1 kill, except for how tanky Velja is now.
Shortest bop ever.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be followed by an even longer ride, though. But
that you land versus these tanky champions.
That's Reckless. He's going to stop this recall here. Make it annoying for White in. Maybe even get a kill because Nemesis is ultied. Orb of Deception out. Waiting for the charm. That will connect. And Baus, it's a free stack, isn't it? He just autos for it because he didn't have Feast up and available. But it's going from bad to worse. And You know, you got to feel for Bara to see him lose a cannon, or at least want to, but as he runs for his life, he gets his Swifties into motion, or rather Moby Boots. He wants also to be safe from this blast cone, but Whiting brings him back in. Shielded Durand and 4 members on top means Bouse will eventually die. While Atakan is getting started up, I mean, you saw the Vi, you know this is free, so again, good death.
Another good death right here. Picks up, what, 4, 5 members, the entire group of Barca over on the top side of the map, both sides of the map. Los Ratones just take the attack, and thank you very much. Now, it will be kind of worth it for Barca if they do manage to get that mid lane tier 1, and I suppose they will because Ari just showed up on the both side of the map, and Baus is still there for another 17 seconds. So that is a pretty good push right here from Barca.
Yeah, XP is going to matter a lot too. You've got ranked ultimate on the Lulu now.
Oh, you're getting away from seismic shove. He went in instead of going out. There's the crowning ult though, shocking everyone within range onto Legolas. A defensive ult as Velja's already pulled out the Crescent Guard. Barca are deep in enemy jungle. They're getting sandwiched. They're getting crunched with a teleport. It becomes a disaster. Waiting to play. Bouse with the one-shot. Velja with the kill in the back. And White Knight with nowhere to run. Just when it looks good for Barca, Los Ratones snap them shut.
An extension into the enemy jungle, trying to find Velja here from Barca, but they just can't quite pick him up. Velja then flashes over, finishes off Checkerlad, and it's another 3-for-0 play. It's just a stomp, this game.
Yeah, I like sides from Los Ratones when their champions have so much agency in playing that way. As Thager's going to find Baus.
But
I
think Baus wins this. Ulti comes up in a second.
They're going to play TP.
But they're committing teleports to Baus again. And Dragon's up in 15 seconds. You see jungle top. I've used the word disaster
this
before.
is a disaster.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
The comedic timing could not be better. And jungle just dies. Checkerlad sent skyward and Bouse is on the run, but he's got Reckless by his side. This is going to be a double. This is going to be trouble. And Checkerlad now regretting the decision. Bouse with a grin on the...
Not able to one-shot the Cho'Gath, not even being able to get your ulti off on Vi there. And now you've got a Mountain Soul.
Dip into fog of war, trying to get any remnants of vision for that Baron.
They're trying to death push, but they're on a ward.
Velja has his ulti as well. You don't want him. The hook is going to do absolutely nothing. As you said, Aragon, who are you going to hook and what is it going to mean? Wave instantly cleared. Los Ratones grouped up as 5 as well as Checkerlad's ulti is going to be late because 4 members already there. Seismic Shove does nothing because they're tanks. They've just got no damage. The Xayah can never step up. She's the one you want to be hitting these front lines.
It's fine. Nemesis was right. Talia's trash.
Okay, well, apparently Nemesis, he's hooked in though, so Nemesis, he might be
wrong. Cursed him.
I mean, at the very least, it's one hook, it's one kill, it's something for Barca, but Crowning is unleashed. Look at him in the back as Legolas has to ult immediately. White Knight, the tank, the front line is no more, and Baus is continuing to pad the stacks with 10.
Dun, dun. He's like a shark just circling around the red pit. Thager's going to try his luck. He's going to find a dinosaur.
And there's no feast there, because otherwise he's dead.
4
5 seconds, yeah. I'm counting as well. Flash away. Legolas has no ult. Baus is going to match that, though. He's on a rampage. And all it takes is another bite. Sink your teeth in. And the meal tastes all right. Los Ratones are playing with their food again.
Reckless just W'd him as well to give him the movement speed right there to be able to connect the feast. And Los Ratones with 5-man buffs from Baron. They're going to push into the base for the end.
It's 25 minutes, 26 ticking over. LR, Groupers 4, and Nemesis is working down on bot, but they can go for the Nexus turret. It's 20 seconds onto Legolas. It's our grand final, but yet again, I'm getting some deja vu. I'm getting LR's resurgence, beaten once by Barca on the lead up at 2-0. We remember, but this is not the way it was. This is not how it started. Game 1 only, but LR put up a clinical performance to open up their back-to-back return.
A dominating performance, no neutrals.
AP Jax into the Shen prior, and he beat that matchup later on when Jax
but at the start, I think he got solo
at the start, he was so suffering.
Yeah. And I think the biggest problem with the Shen matchup for Baus is that it creates so many numbers advantage plays on the other side of the map, and then looks for a wave afterwards, and then maybe a recall for the Doran's Ring and so on the other items.
He's going bot.
Could be a gank. I mean, there's no reliable gank setup you have. You've just missed the W on Jhin.
But Legolas just walked up, trying to get the wave crashed in. Reckless gets an engage, and Whiting is isolated away from Legolas. They'll turn. The stun, though, doesn't connect from Velja, but the last shot will indeed. Deadly Flash flashed away from Thager is finding it out in the meanwhile. And while I'm yapping away, Thager gets away from the Severing Bolt, but Nemesis is still here. CC flashed away from, but Velja has his flash from last fight, but where's the CC? It's now coming up. He'll find it. There's the Severing Bolt isolated again, and with Conqueror up, Velja just needs a bit more in the Q department, and he'll find that too. White Knight can't
I
save
feel like
it.
can build so many different items that it's almost
Kraken
pointless.
Slayer as well.
Yeah.
That's different, isn't
Ooh,
it?
level 6.
Ulti, yeah, Chocolate has found his mark. Onto Nemesis, Spiraling Despair as well. He stood there, he's taken it. Spiraling Despair gets a good trade, but Velja, once again, flash for flash. The Chocolate with lethal tempo gets the Soldier in the meantime, and the Stand United is coming down. Velja pays respect, while bot lane, there's a trade there again. The blood is starting to roll and fall down the sewers. As White Knight
Right here, Crowny and Reckless have been playing that 2v2 fantastically well. Every single time Legolas dashes into our trade, you see Reckless
80-second
throwing...
cooldown. It's really long, so right now is the window to go.
Wait, Nemesis again, bot though. His jungler's here this time. Thaker's here to cover. Nemesis is going to get whacked around for a little bit longer. With the Spiraling Spear hit onto a clone, he has no chance. Bit of damage on the way out to Chocolate, and that's 1-2 now in the pocket for the mid laner.
Big for Barca. That's exactly what we're looking forward. Hold up.
As we're doing a 2v2 with the quickness out,
the bubble.
tidal wave as well. Crowny's going to barrier first, but Legolas running out of mana. Deadly Forest as Crowny now opens up with the curtain call. He will not find them all because Thaker is walking into range. All Crowny can do is delay the inevitable. Thaker's going to get over the wall. He wants to dash and take the kill and at least set it up for Legolas with the relentless pursuit. No, doesn't find his way forward. It's a bonk on the making. And Thaker's just going to auto him instead.
A gang bot works now, and in mid lane you also have to play with the
That's
shoulder.
an enemy base.
Yeah, he is. He's really making it hard right now. If Shen does ult away, he's going to lose his tower.
Oh, hey, okay.
There goes Reckless.
Bye, Reckless.
Okay.
Thaker just took a freebie, and now Crowny is isolated. TP needs to cover him. Tidal wave out first, though, as Legolas, the one tanking up. Now, Crowny has flashed and barried and gotten away, but he's got a curtain call that he's going to open up, and with Pouse in the way with a Sky Splitter, Whiting's in a lot of trouble. Bullet number 4 will fly and hit Thaker as the Cyclone disengaged, but Bouse has gone a bit deep. He ulted in and regrets it immediately. Teleport also going to be burned. Barca have 4 members on the way, and Velja cannot save that play.
Baus uses the tempo he gets from proxying to TP bot and try to make a play, but the Channel is there once he fully commits, and it's the numbers advantage. It's a 5v3.
Oof.
Boy, Shadow Dash was close to connecting for LR. Thinking about how to approach this dragon. They don't want to give away number 2, but the pinch is good. Chocolate is better. Reckless gets out, disengaged on the left while Velja isolated on the right. Spiraling Spear into Thaker, and they're all so low, but a flash Shadow Dash brings the fight back into Barca's favor. Nemesis might be out for now, but Velja just got a reset. An Aqua Prison, another ulti. Chocolate up next, severing bolt. How in God's name was that so close? Barca getting away with their lives, but only 2 of them as Reckless and Nemesis are taking the last bit. Severing bolt again, a flower in the way to mark the death. We look at Crowny because Reckless is being an 80 carry again.
Both sides of Barca exposed to Velja getting resets.
Yeah, I think Whiten as well stepped a little bit too close to the bush. He could have hugged wall on the left towards the side of the Dragon Pit, but gets too close to the wall.
Getting vision control, that's going to help out as well. Thaker, I'm going to face check, but it's onto the 80 carry instead. They found themselves Legolas. He walked in because he was confident his jungler was by his side, but Thaker takes the 4th shot. There's a little bit more in LR that they're looking for. Velja, he's got a stolen soul. He's looking for yet another. It's reset after reset. It's Velja's time again. And this jungler, this LR pickup, is continuing to prove his worth.
And Barca, just like last game, they underestimate the power of the banana bush.
He walked in, he now has to ulti. Reckless is there for the engage. They wanted to walk towards Nemesis, and while he might get out, can you say the same about Whiten? Under turret, as LR, no, it's a breeze from dying. It's another easy kill. LR putting Spain to shame.
Nah, Barca, this in game number 2 as well. Again, overcommitting to plays. Legolas has no business face checking that bush. I know you know that your jungler is around, but you have absolutely no vision. And of course, with Herald coming up, of course a lot are going to be around the neutral objective to set up for themselves. Velja is an absolute monster this series. And in this particular game, 6-1-4, having the Kraken Slayer.
Everyone gets chased down here. And it's just more and more resets.
And I feel like you saw Thaker in the beginning. He was sort of...
Oh no.
Oh,
it's happening
Thaker's
again.
dead again.
Now, what were you going to say about Thaker?
In that
Downward
replay.
spiral. And yes, you know, like Barca are making mistakes, but LR are just so good individually at pulling them out. This skill cap, this skill ceiling. Offshoots of the fight, but there are none.
Back in my day, that was a Master Yi. Now it's called a Viego.
Very true. Oh, Root. Oh, and engaged. Spiraling Despair. And I think Legolas is going to regret stepping up to the wave. Crowny on the mark today. As the last shot doesn't need to connect, it zones him off. Here's Velja once again in between it all. And yes, Baus is going to die. Teleport to cover from Nemesis, but Mid in a turret is
could
now
dive him
under
too.
fire.
They could dive him too. They have Wukong ult.
They do. Nemesis, will he regret it is the question. Cyclone flash away, but Nemesis has one of his own. Stand United under turret, but is there enough damage to fear? Comes in White Knight. He's going to be a trade. It's a big shutdown as Stega gets out, but mid in a turret goes down in the process.
Hold as you can onto this Azir, onto the carries. Because so far, I feel like it is on the top side of the map.
He's been caught out a couple of times so far. Again, you talked about the range. It's so easy to pull it off. Thega now caught himself, and he's trying to edge into this bush as Bowser's joined in as well. 5 versus 4 for now. A potential engage. Checklight finds one on a Nemesis with Acro Prison. It's a good engage. It's a successful one. The Stand United brings down the Shen, and now the White Knight's here. Numbers advantage for the Otacon to start.
They could play this potentially with
Velja.
the resets from Velja, but Velja's getting chunked on the entrance. Look at Reckless on the flank, potentially.
Otacon will slow them down. Otacon will do damage. Crowny is trying to buy his time. Meanwhile, for Barca, the way back into the game is here. Reckless engage. Doesn't connect, but he finds a quickness and a charm eventually. The curtain call doing it in the back line as well as Baus jumps in against 4 people. Ultis eventually takes the chomp and heals out. Gets a stun down, but Barca have done enough, it seems. With the Cyclone re-engaged, Crowny shuts me up and takes the rest of the meat. Finally, they all fall, and Los Ratones are looking as strong as they did last time with 4 for Crowny.
Crowny with his best champion of 2025. 4 versus 5. Guess what? 4 is his favorite number.
They managed to find the play. I don't know how Baus lived for that long on the volley bear at the back end there, but they managed to pull off the 4 versus 5 with the reset.
The same thing. They step up when it matters, and it's such an overused phrase, but it's happening again. Now Nemesis wants to curse it for a little bit. Thega's going to find him. Cyclone's good, spiraling despair in the interim, but it means nothing. That's a big pick, and Barca need big picks in this game to stay in this series, to stay where they are. But with the curtain call opening up again, every time I say something good, there's a response. Whiting was not covered. He's one shot, and Baus is running. He's coming from behind. Look at where Baus is. Look at where Baus is. They've got a ping on him.
They have Shen ult, though. They have Shen ult, and Shen has push. He could look for an ulti onto the pick that Los Ratones made.
Flourish. They're still looking for the fight. I'm worried. Again, for Barca, how much can they find? They want the mid turret. They want the play. All it takes is another pick, and then finally they can stem the bleeding. They can look for the dragon. They're heading exactly towards that now for Barca. The long train running down this river. Whiting is healing up slowly.
Jin is isolated towards the top side of the map. Can Barca find him out, isolate him, and take him? They're looking as they're bouncing back and forth. They see that Jin is in the mid lane tower.
Los Ratones, they just lost top lane tower. Shen can look for an engage now. Los Ratones aren't on a timer anymore because there's no tier 3 tower threat, and Barca are the ones that have to back up.
Auto attack, and Crowny caught out, Stand United, and Crowny's going to drop at the start. Whiting isolated by Baus, but it's a messy fight. Thega as well, spiraling despair, but Velja is getting resets again. Checklight, he's isolated because everyone else is dead, and it's only White Knight left standing. Every time we get this fight, Ella...
And what were we talking about early? Why does LR come back? Why are they the favorites? Because they need to slow down, but the most important part is that they've been put into the same position.
It's a pick.
Look at the range.
It's the range, but Culling is going to force him away. But meanwhile, while Legolas wanted to save his support, he might be sacrificing his own life. Severing Bolt again. The last shot almost. White in Legolas, both together, the duo running away. Velja needs a simple reset, a simple kill. Reckless gets vision, and White in is kaput. He's down, stuck mid-air, but he's got a reset, and that's all that matters. LR running it through mid in their game 2 in their hands. They hold victory at a whim.
W into R, finds the kill from Velja on the flank, and now they can potentially look towards this Nash. Going to start up as the Azir turn into the Viego and DPS it down. In the meantime, Baus is proxying between tier 3 and tier 4 tower. Sorry, tier 2 and tier 3 tower.
And spare on a clone.
What a nice play.
Baron for LR. Soul point for LR. Everything so far LR's way. Barca seem to be recovering. Suddenly more carries spring up from the side of LR to shut them down. Thager thought it was his jungle. Big mistake.
Yeah, this is going to be Stand
United
they have
to
at the very
burn
least.
Shen ult as well.
Yeah. At this point in the game, I mean...
There goes the dive win con.
Yeah.
Right, with the Shen ulti and the Wukong engage. But at this point, are you really playing for that? I feel like you just have to turtle, try to wave clear and stall for item spikes. Void Staff, Death Cap on the Azir.
Dive time. Reckless ulti.
Feels like every time Legolas dashes forward, they're punishing with the range. We saw that in mid on this front line. And Thega's trying to take vision, trying to take control of bot side.
Oh my god, it's happening again though. This time Nemesis won't hit a clone. He'll hit the real deal. White Knight forces a flash away. And Velja just thinks about how he can get back in. The Heartbreaker and Crowny hitting his shots. It's a done deal. We came in today thinking about how Barca whittled away KC Blue, but LR on the other side of the bracket must have been a different matter because this isn't close. This isn't even League of Legends anymore. This is a funeral, and there's only one team attending.
Big laughs on the faces of LR as well, as they know this was an easy game to begin with.
Yeah, they don't even need the soul. They just turn the fight on the face check.
Classic.
As Barca tried to get in there, but what a stomp. What an absolute roll.
A stomp in this game, a stomp in game one.
Confident. I just think you can't kill tanks as Kled. You don't really have that much damage in your kit to kill tanks like this.
Who kills tanks in this comp? The Corki.
I mean, you have Trundle. In fairness, you have Trundle, so maybe
literally Chocolate's shadow in their semi-final series. So I'm looking to see when does that Nautilus get freed from lane to walk around mid lane.
I think Trade's gonna remount, get all his HP back, but
good music.
He's gonna really need this crash right here. The wave is being held by White Knight, so there's gonna be a
we're looking bot because the 2v2 is gonna start off first. Flash from Whiting going into Crownie. Barry comes out, but first blood over to Reckless as Legolas is looking for the trade. Instant flash in return. Meanwhile, Bounce goes down in topside, but Reckless is taking down Legolas. The Ghost has just worn off. Reckless needs a couple more autos and a Shattering Strike, but only just Legolas on his escape route. Flash from Reckless. Look at him go. Horsey's coming in. The Steel Horse with a crash down.
Still going.
A flash Shattering Strike would do it. But I feel like you could even say game one is right at the Arcane. Instantly onto Checkerlad. Whiting's going to try and stop it. Checkerlad flashes. Now both mid laners without the summoner. I
mean, the theme of this game is going to be Immobile Control Mage versus Immobile Artillery Mage. Who can get ganked the least? I think... Wait.
It's Thager. It's the jungler who's getting ganked the most.
Baus is in no man's land a little bit.
Baus is the one in trouble though. There's the counter strike. A stun up. He dismounts at a good time, but a searing charge means he goes nowhere. He flashes over the wall. Here comes the Call the Forge God for a kill, and Baus is going to be first dragon. But this was also a repeat, right? Like, while Baus adds pressure on the top, we talk about the minion wave denied, we talk about his constant pushing in. It also enables them to consistently just pick up these dragons.
Also, no one really talks about...
5 seconds on that as well. One grub at the very least for now. Barca want to try and find two and see what they can do with a bit of time held at their hands. Legolas coming in, but the team that needs everything in this series starting now. It comes off an engage. Thager doesn't pull it in. Lost Ratones still trepidatiously tiptoeing in as Nemesis is pulled back in. A great engage though. Reckless pulls them together, makes them kiss, and Barca trying to get that second grub will succeed, but how goes the fight? They get chomp for a bit. His AD reduced. Reckless re-engage. The jump on from the Jax. He's carrying. Thager being the hero for Spain, but as Reckless gets yet another stun, and Nemesis sits there for fun. The damage and range is enough. Nemesis just missing. Reckless will have to finish the job and pick up 3 kills in the early game. Legolas will run, but not for much longer.
The move speed. And
if he had cast that arrow 1 second more, he would have gotten Xerath right there.
1-0 and 3. Nemesis after the fight still looking good, but as we get Thager down in yet another lane, Call the Forge gone on the Baus. Ulti gonna pop, run into Thager. Here comes Velja to save the day into Mini Kled. Baus wants to remount. There's a pillar out. Bellow's breath is doing damage, and Baus is playing on the edge of this one, but Velja might be able to do it himself. He's got his ulti out. That subjugation slowing down Thager and sapping away his energy. Is White Knight now with no mana to escape, and with a remount, Baus has everything up and available. It's going to turn into a dive. Searing charge, though, makes it a 1-for-1. Shotgun out. Baus is dead right at the Arcane. Helps out in the end. It's a massacre. It's a bloodbath.
No item yet, and you're walking into Trinity Forces, Ludens, double Trinity Force actually, and Ludens on the other side for the side of LR. I think Checkerlad is going to be super weak walking into this one, so FFing it here for Barca I think is the best move.
And one thing we didn't talk about is the Nemesis chunks that are starting to come through, because the Xerath does have a lead, and this is what he does, is that Nautilus tries to face check, and look at this. The big engage tool can't walk into River and Ghost. Legolas now with nothing here. Crownie, he just took a blast cone into a Nautilus and a Jax. Pillar might try and save his life with a depth charge. Crownie flashes away, but it's matched. Thager now, he just has to survive as long as he can, but he can't, because Velja's whacking away with his club. This guy's pulling out some magic from caveman to wizard. Velja just being fed kills again. How is this guy always so damn strong as Legolas has now walked in after he lost his double sums? Nemesis or Reckless, it doesn't matter. The kill's going over as Checkerlad gets Velja. And we devolve into chaos in an 18-kill game, while LR still somehow keep getting more gold off of every passing play. Just ignore Baus, they're just going to keep running after each other. He might dismount, call the forward god comes in. White Knight will have some backup. There's a triple Hex Gate usage here. Baus is going to remount now, but he is dead. Thega gets the kill.
The hero died to check
Yeah, well, he does die.
Which is very important, right? Because you get a big shutdown on the Orianna. We talked about how they need more items onto Chocolate, and right now Barca, they have the full control of the river.
Here he comes from South America. And Baus is coming in. No, the south of America. Pause for that. Baus is going to go into mini and probably die at the start of this fight.
He's
As
out.
he runs out, he somehow survives. Crash down, CC, stun out, and Crowny gets the kill. How did no one from LR die there? More importantly, how did Baus survive? As Chocolate at half HP, it's a poke from Nemesis that continues to hurt out, and this guy is starting to one-shot. The range again ensues.
And very importantly, Baus TP's back in to put pressure over on the tops of the map now that Barca are on reset timers because they got chunked down so hard. So mid lane's getting chunked for free, top lane's getting pushed for free from Baus TPing back, and Thega cannot even access his own jungle.
Yeah, mid tower might fall here, especially with the
he's dead.
hold
He's
up.
stunned and he's
wait
dead.
a minute.
Nemesis is huge. Nemesis is...
But still, face checking this is the task for Los Ratones. Can they do it? Reckless has his buffer on any CC.
Stun.
Oh,
it
man.
begins. Nemesis damage. Can Barca find anything more? Crowny's in trouble and he will be isolated and taken down. That's great. One kill for the Spanish rebels fighting this battle. LR, though, have sent Baus towards mid. It's only a third dragon, but now the fight begins.
And Ornn and Orianna are super chunked down, so if Nemesis finds the mark right here, they could turn this around.
Velja with an angle. That's what matters here. You look in the picture in
Oh my
picture.
God.
Turret going down. The dragon gets them low. Wide in for an engage. Onto Reckless. Crash down to disengage. Nemesis still buying that space as he needs, but his zone control massive. Chains Corruption not connecting. And a long form engage from White Knight that has no follow-up. Walking into Nemesis is a disaster. Is a horror. Is a mismatch. A shockwave good, but again, where are the kills? Thega gets subjugated by Velja, and subjugated he will be with the chains lashed off. It's now Legless in a 1 versus 3, but Nemesis keeps firing and firing and firing and firing, and Legless doesn't have a single chance against the right of this Arcane. That happened.
Oh,
no moments of shockwave from Chocolate, and he flashes. But with the right of the Arcane again, all it needs to hit is one more. An objective bounty, yes, for bot. But a kill through mid, opening up towards the inhib.
Is he soloing Atakan?
I think Velja might be soloing Atakan.
Oh, he's
Crowny's
chomping.
going to help. But Baus was here to defend bot, so...
Yeah, Velja's health bar wasn't moving. He could definitely do the solo if he wanted to. But just going to accelerate a little bit with Crowny here. They're trying to cross map. Can Baus clear the way? Probably not.
Chains of Corruption, bit of range here. There's good damage. He does pay respect. He's trying to get out, but a depth charge has now burnt quite a lot. Objective bounty is nice, and Baus in a small mini Kled gets out. That engage would have hit. He would have found his mark, and 2 turrets here for Barca stimulates some gold growth.
On the other side, Atakan, the whole top quadrant of Theger's jungle, and a tower just about to take a huge hit from the side of Barca. So Barca are in pretty desperate scenarios right now. You need to make some picks. You need to grab some shutdowns. Tower's gonna go down. Atakan's gonna go down.
They are no stronger than they were 5 minutes ago, so it's really important that they find this reset. The backs being delayed means that Los Ratones are going to take a tier 2 of themselves.
Stun doesn't connect, but Nemesis, all he has to do is auto-attack and he'll get mana back. His damage still,
Around.
I guess that's probably why he's not showing for now.
Empowered recall. He's
Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming.
Well,
look on your minimap.
I mean, because objective bounty's being picked up, and credit to them, they're actually starting to break down some of these turrets, but Baus is going to cut off the escape route. Maybe the last charade, the last fight is in here for Barca, but onto Chocolate. The bear trap on a rope from Baus is putting down some damage. He's caught out, though, before the rest of LR are coming in. Reckless, too. With a windmill ulti in, he dies, but White Knight now finds Nemesis at full range. The rest of the team trying to get there, but Nemesis still not far enough close. As Barca are getting poked out a little bit. Thega gets a good ulti down onto Crowny, but the damage is not there. He flashes, and this is how far behind they are. Into Nemesis, that won't cut it. Bjorn gets away, back to his station. But White Knight, now that he's gone,
oh, he's looking.
No one to defend Legless, and White in.
Has flash.
Over the wall, Velja takes a jump. White in's going to be next, and this grand final is
engaged. They're running down Nemesis as best as he can, but he gets trundle ulted and he's just one shot, and he has to back away on such low HP. He can't.
No, the Turkish League almost able to take him down. Same again with Boostgate. But then, since then, it's been stomps, it's been domination, a Chains of Corruption, buffered ulti from Baus, but with an Ornn ulti coming out, remember, Baron's up in 11 seconds. If Baus dies here, There are still no big ultis for Barca, so 4 versus 5, but you're 8,500 gold. This guy can play everything. This is a problem. Nemesis, what a tournaments he's had towards the end of NLC. There were some question marks. I know he wasn't having the best performance, but he came into EMEA Masters and he's been taking names. Now
chasing Baus again.
Doing the same. Shockwave going to be bringing him back in. White in is here. And to contribute his Baus flashes over, there's a dredge line waiting. He'll go into small Kled, but even though he dies again, even though he's now way past the 120 deaths, with the push through mid, LR are trying to take some more base defenses with all the members showing through bot. This is going to be the straw that breaks the already broken camel's
it's
back.
5 versus 4, but very crucial ultimates are missing from the sort of Barca. Can they turn it around? They're tipping in.
They're going to use themselves a Hex Gate onto Velja. They've got an isolated target. That's nice. With teleport.
Oh.
Thega now joins in, or rather, is Shekolad. But look, Lost Ratones on different members. Reckless missing that ulti. It's a bit chaotic. It's a bit crazy, but it works because Lost Ratones, they're rats with crazy minds. Right of the Arcane again. And for Barca running back to their base, there's no place like home, but there is no longer home. Teleport to the last Nexus turret, but with the minions already in the base, this might just be it.
Crowny chunks, Velja chomps, and Lost Ratones Lila!
They already did this 3-0 in IJC in winter. They're doing it again versus Barca in spring. It seems so simple, taking down Europe, one country at a time. We ask, who can stop them? Who can stop this infestation of rats? It's a new dynasty, new era. It's NLC's time to shine. And led by the Lost Ratones, you're back-to-back spring EMEA champions. They do it all again.
What more can you say? Absolute domination. We said it at the beginning. Every final they've played, they have 3-0.
And it's continuing. It hasn't stopped. I mean, the question is now, can they do it for Summer again and Summer NLC?
No. I think the question here becomes, who can even take a game in finals versus them? That's the big question.
True.
A game.
How do they do it?